Right, there's our breakfast. 4 packs of bacon and eggs on the boil. Bread that was made last night by Rob. Look at the weather today. I know it's really windy, but what a difference compared to yesterday. We'll be heading out soon. Half hour 40-minute paddle. Hopefully we can get a Canoe on a bigger island. And that's where we're going to have to haul up till tomorrow. We're at a new spot now. We haven't 100% made our mind up, but I think it's looking good. It's a new island. We've never been to it, so it's time to go exploring later. Cool. We're in a thick stand now. The boys are looking for dead standing wood because we've got no firewood in this area. That's gonna do it. So I'll take some footage and now setting up my hammock and tarp. Okay folks, there's my hammock and tarp set up quickly. I'll just take you in now and show you what kit I'm actually using as my house stroke sleep system. The tarp is a 10th Wonder Sargasso tarp. This has been in some foul weather. I mean, it's stood up pretty well. I've had to seam seal it. I did have an issue last night because on the inner I've got these loops which I used to tie a line from this one to the far one and then hang my mosquito net off it. But because of the high winds yesterday and the real heavy rain, the actual line was rubbing the inside of the tarp and it was leaving water in then where the line was running down to the lowest point and dripping onto my hammock, so some of my kit was wet. So I had to dry it with a towel last night, but still got through the night and I've dried it all this morning. I've actually added these on, these side pull-outs. Hold on. So I've added these, so it's similar to the War Bonnet Superfly, which Marcus has got on the bottom, which I can take you down later for a look. I just stuck them on with Silnet. I watched a video on the tube and I followed the guy's instructions. It's not pretty, but it actually works. So, but I don't need it today because I've spread it wide, because I'm in the woodlands in the spruce forest on this island, just to get out of the wind, because every night we've had so far it's been really windy, so it's just nice to get a bit of shelter. So if I take you in now, this is my pride and joy, which I've had a long time. It's my Clark North American hammock. Now Clark are closing, they're finishing, so it's really different. You probably won't get these anymore unless they're second hand. And I absolutely love this. This is a weather shield, which basically blocks all the wind. If I'll mount you to the tripod now, just so I can go hands-free on this. Bear with me. So if I take the shot from this angle, hopefully it'll be okay. Right. We got the weather shield on it, which works on both sides. And then also, this is open because I've just been loading it up now with mosquito netting. So I can unzip my weather shield completely, stuff it in the pockets on the end out of the way if it's a warm night and I just want the air to blow through my mosquito netting. And also this then can be up out of the way to be open. So if I leave it open for now, just to show you. My sleep system is a Thermarest apogee quilt. It's just basically a quilt, and then I run it with a Thermarest inside. I can actually get away without using the Thermarest because of the pockets underneath. By using the pockets underneath to hold on my clothing, my equipment and things like that, it creates a dead air space, so there's insulation. So I don't then need a full sleeping bag to cover behind me. I'll unclip you now and bring you in. So you can see in there's my merino pyjamas, just long johns and a top. I'm using an Alpkit pillow. Hold on, if I get the little stuff sack out. Drift pillow. Really nice. It's just an inflatable pillow with like a cloth outer, very comfortable. And then I just got a 3/4 Pro Light Thermarest in there, and then I use a mat on the bottom. There's my quilt. I got the foot pocket to stick my feet into, and then basically this, and I can close the whole system in, so the mosquito netting then is covered by the windproof membrane. And when I close it up, it's a hell of a lot warmer in the hammock, especially for winter camping. Obviously I've just put a line up because I removed, like I said earlier, I removed the line, which is this orange line here. It was attached from D-ring to D-ring, but it was strumming in the wind and rubbing there like that, and left the water in to leak on the hammock. So there's my system. Each corner of the Sargasso tap's got these pockets as well to get the cords in, but I've had this a while, so the Velcro's dying on me now. Been a very good tap, but I think it's coming to the end of its life. I'll probably get another season out of it, and then I'll have to replace it with something. But it's great because it's got the Velcro on the end, so I can close the ends up completely and then use the other tabs along the side end to open it out, and then the side pullets to give me room. So I can close myself in completely if the weather gets absolutely stinking. So that's my sleep system. I keep it all in my my Lomo. I think it's a 40-litre dry bag rucksack. It's like the thick tarpaulin dry bags. Really tough. It's brilliant. So I keep my whole house in there. Sleeping bag, Thermarest, my hammock, my tarp, everything, unless the tarp is soaking obviously, but everything goes in there. So when we get in, rock up on the Canoe into a camp, I can just grab the orange bag, go and put my house up, and then I'm done. The big dry bag holds all my cutting tools, all my equipment, my cooking stuff, everything. So what I'll do now is I'll probably get the big dry bag up and then do a full spread on the floor of the kit I'm using. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick talk through of some of my kit. I'm probably blocking most of the shot here. Right, then to start off, all my kit, like I showed you with my house bag then, basically with my tarp hammock and everything, that's in a big, that's in a 40 litre the waterproof dry bag. This then is a big, I think it's a 110 litre nookie dry bag for canoeing. The rest of my stuff goes in there. When I'm paddling, all I'm paddling in is a pair of like line swim shorts, long swim shorts, like Bermuda shorts, a quick dry man-made material t-shirt. Sometimes I'll wear this paramo for paddling if it is raining, because I can vent it and it'll wick the sweat away, and even when if I get soaked through, it then dries on me and dries the clothes underneath. It's brilliant for paddling. And then the buoyancy goes over the top, and then just the cap then, keep the sun off, rain off the face or whatever, and the hood will go over the front of the peak to keep the rain off. For my wet gear, which I have used my Ventile yesterday, they've got a Ventile jacket, West Winds one, and then just a pair of Berghaus Deluge waterproof over trousers. They're really good. They'll pack them small and they're cheap. I got a Bison Bushcraft wool shirt as my warm layer, and I've also got a Paramo thin layer top as well, which is down at the Dano camp. My seat, which I've been using, is just like a beach seat, a high gear one I bought from Go Outdoors, that I can clip into a seat, and it goes into my hammock and goes under my feet to keep my feet warm. This has actually come in handy, a Sea to Summit pocket shower. I bought this last year and took it last year on a canoeing trip. I've already had one shower and I'm going to have one later, so I'll have 2 washes in a week. That's quite good for me when I'm camping. Pair of elkskin leather gloves that I bought on a trip to Colorado about 14 years ago when we were up in the Rockies. Still using them. They're getting a bit old now. It's not an Alp Kit first aid pack. I just bought a kit off Alp Kit for spare bits, and I used the dry bag, but it's a mountain systems, is it? Life Systems mountain set or whatever. And I changed most of the stuff. I got a lot of stuff in there. I got tablets, I got clotting agent and things like that, if any of us have a nasty cut. Obligatory Welsh flag, which goes up at every camp. I'll set that up down there so anybody paddling past will see our canoes and a big Welsh flag. What else have I got? Eagle Creek wash bag. I've just got the basics in here, like insect repellent, that's really good. The mosquito guard with picaridin is the active ingredient. It's much better than DEET. Foot powder, small bottle of Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap, and I've also got all-purpose soap, biodegradable stuff. Just basics. My towel and thing, and foot towel and things like that all go in this as well. Electrical bags. So in my electricals bag, some of the stuff I've got a big blue solar panel down on the canoe out in the full sun on the beach charging. It's charging a battery pack and my GoPro batteries at the moment. I've also got a battery pack in here, an Anchor, I think it's a 20,000 amp battery. I haven't even started using that because the solar panel is so far. We've only had a couple of bouts of sun. It's kept me going, so I've got plenty of charge power. I've got an Alp Kit solar light. This is brilliant, a lamprey. Bought this a couple of years ago in the Bushcraft show when they had a stall there. It's also a storage battery. I think it's like 3,300 milliamp, and also it's got 3 or 4 settings. This is what hangs in my hammock, and we use them in the Dano as well in the night. They're really bright, and then I can charge it USB and it'll throw out USB and can charge my phone. But I've been charging this on the solar panel as well. Petzl head torch, Tikar R+. This is rechargeable, so I can just charge the battery pack again off my storage batteries or solar panel. So as long as I'm getting daylight, preferably sunlight, I'm pretty self-sufficient for all my power needs. I got another battery pack down there. car cigarette socket which we used because we had a hire car to get to the Canoe hire place, so we charge our phones in the car on the way. All my cabling and stuff is down with my charging gear. This is my Helicon Tex bushcraft satchel, which I'm just basically, when I go down to the camp now, my house is set up here out of the worst of the wind. Down in the Dano camp, this has got my brew kit and all my essentials, my carving stuff and bits and bobs in. I got some of the stuff I've been whittling over the last few days, like a butter knife, cooking spoon I got to finish. That's the coffee scoop we've been using. Other stuff I got down there as well that I've carved. I've just left it down there. I'm not bringing everything back up here. Right then, my cutting tools. Grants for a small forest axe. Had this a long time. I normally bring a carving axe with me because it's normally 4 or 5 of us come out to Sweden every year, and then we each take a different bit of kit. So like somebody will take a bigger axe, Marcus will bring a smaller one, I'll take a carving, Russ brings us something to split with, and then we'll take different, so we're not all taking, we're doubling up on kit. But I didn't bring a carving axe this year. I just thought, because every year we come in, for the last 4 or 5 years, there doesn't seem to be a lot of firewood. There's none at the camps like there should be, so we have to go foraging for it. So we're doing a lot of processing, cutting and splitting. Silky Big Boy, 2000, I think this is it. I can't remember the actual length of the blade on this. But this is a beast of a saw. I decided to go with this instead of the Bob Distrud, which I was going to bring, because it was lighter and it was better than me bringing a Bob Distrud and a small pocket saw for my carving. I can kind of get away with this. More Eldris as my necker. This is my food prep knife. It's actually been brilliant, cutting onions, food and things like that up. And I just use it for all those tasks, with butter and make bread making and everything. What else have I brought? I brought this with me, because between the 4 of us it's actually come in handy. That's what I made the big hammer for that we use for splitting. It's just an inch Scotch auger bit with a handle. So I might make a stool later with it, and if I do, then I'll film that. This is just my little carving pouch with bits and bobs, my cold rosin kit. So I've got cinnamon powder, I've got pre-oxidized linseed oil that's food safe, so I can use on my spoons. It's just my stropping paste, some 1200 grit wet and dry paper for sharpening my hook knives and things. Sharpie marker pencil. This is like a multi-use bow drill bearing block, striker light and things I keep in there. This bag goes in my carving pouch, which is this. That Marcus, who's camping with us, he made a green outdoor. So I keep all my carving stuff. I say all, I brought a minimal kit with me. So I got a Mora 105, which I'm trying out. I bought one of these. I'd seen, what's his name? Woodsman Finest, Maximilian. He went on about one of these and said how good they were. I always use a Mora 106. I've used other makes. I got Svante Jarv knives and other carving tools. And I always go back to the Mora 106. I thought I'd try this. This is actually really damn good. I'm preferring this, to be honest with you, for carving. I thought the flared area around the handles I'm going to have to carve that away, but it's lovely and I can really plough into the wood with it. And I just made a little slip to cover the blade. This is my Nick Westerman finishing hook that I handled myself. I only bought the blade, so that's a piece of cherry that, oh god, I felled this 20 odd years ago, and it's just from an old chopping block that was in my dad's shed that had rotten, so we split it down to burn and it was still solid wood inside. So I've done all my handles out of the same block cherry. I made the box then out of an old oak shelf. It's just to protect the blade, and then that's not coming off in my bag. And the other tool I brought with me is another Nick Westerman blade. This is his roughing blade, and that's another piece of the cherry handle. And this one then is oak, and I think it's Venge that I've made this box out of. I could do a video in the future of how to make the boxes, and just a little hazel peg that I carved. Just hold it again, see, that's not coming off. so it's a damn sight safer in my bag. Strop and a round strop for doing my hook knives and my knives and my axe. I've got a small flex cut pocket jack, 4-blade. I use it for carving faces and things. I haven't done anything this trip. I might do something, and that is just there in the chest guard. So when I'm carving and I'm pressing and pulling into my chest, it's not digging into my breastbone, it's in that hot, thick leather. That's pretty much it. I've got a fire steel in there. That's a spoon I carved out of a piece of birch, did for yesterday, and I called Rose Sweden 2019 into it. I'll just bring it up to the camera. So that was just from a piece of birch. Where are we? Sweden 2019. I don't know if you can see that. Might be alright. And then it's just an eating spoon, which I had my supper with last night. Other than that, sorry I'm scratching because we this tick country. I was just checking. Other than that, I don't really think I got much other stuff. I think down in the camp I got my Pathfinder bush pot that with making all the coffee and everything in. I brought a little Primus gas burner with us, and we bought a gas canister with Preb and the kit supplier. Just so when we rock up a camp, you know, before we've gone out to get gathered wood and things in, so the boys, we just fired up a pot of water when we got here, just so we could have a cup of tea and a warm up, because you know, obviously feet are wet because we're in and out of the canoe each side. Other than that, my cup, I don't think I've got much else down there. I just brought it all up, so it's not a lot of kit. I got a couple of spare pairs of pads and socks, 2 t-shirts, and the trousers I'm in I picked up from Varusteleka in Finland. I think it's their ultimate outdoor trousers. Put a bit of timber on lately, so I can't get in my Fjällräven that I normally wear out here, so I had to go up a size, but these trousers have been absolutely brilliant. And then just, I don't tend to wear boots when we come out here, it's just a pair of lower Renegade, the shoes. Much more comfortable to wear shoes out here, because when in and out of the water, just Crocs for all the canoeing and all the wet stuff, and then it's just nicer at on camp end to either dry your Crocs out and wear them, or just a pair of shoes. Other than that, if I find anything else in my kit I've forgotten to tell you about, I'll point it out, and I'll do a little bit of filming later for you. So other than that, I think that's enough. That's my kit. Hope you enjoyed. Another thing, I'm trying to get my channel back up and running again after a couple of months of no filming, hardly getting out. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe, and feel free to share my channel and get my name out there. I really need to get the channel off now. I've got to catch up with Rob. He's way ahead of me, but he's made a lot more videos than I have, so I've got to catch him up now. So hopefully you'll enjoy this footage from this week's trip in Sweden, and come back and watch my other videos. Thank you. Right, Rob Evans Outdoorsman has got some fry bread on the go. So there's the aluminium Dutch oven with the hot oil. We haven't eaten much today, so that's going to taste amazing. We got jam and stuff in the barrels, and honey. And we'll probably have a nice strong coffee with it. So they're going over here.
Shit, ow.
I think that was a burning.
That was burning, alright.
But at least it didn't fall in, it wasn't an ash bread. We'll have to make tongs when we...
Just going to use a fair bit of oil. Can be reused off.
Marcus is dribbling so much, he's filling the lake back up. Use our water filtration system, care of Russell. It's a 10 litre Otley bag with a Sawyer mini screw to the bottom of it, and we're just using gravity and the pressure of the bag obviously to push the water through, so none of this squeezing crap. So we just cycle the bottles now. That's the next one going in. I know a lot of people say you can just drink straight from the lake, and we have, and we've never been ill, but why tempt fate? We've got the kit, so it's easier to just use it and not spend half the holiday on the toilet. Go on.
These are all salty ones now. I'm going to make sweet ones as well. Because we are hungry.
Cool beans. So what's the difference with the sweet one? Are you dropping it hot then into sugar, or are you putting it in the mix?
I put sugar in the mix, and may even put jam in the middle. Give it a
So
go.
donut-ish.
Donut-ish, aye.
Burnt tongues forbidden.
Blisters on tongues.
So we can all be in a dough coma by 8 o'clock tonight.
Sugar induced. Induced.
But you just want to explode. Times you can't hear a talk, other times you can. All the same old cliches. Is it woman? Is it man? Oh, I love it. Here I go, gonna play.
I've got the syringe to flush the thing. I've got to inject the fucking jam.
Yeah. Yes, sweat pours out your body. The music that you play. Ringing in your head. The days like cigarettes. Remembering what you said.
Fucking legend.
Invigorating.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yes, as you can see, Rob is washing in our drinking water and soaping up his armpits and his ball sack. I can't wait to have a cup of tea tonight, so we're not only going to have bits of leaves and things like that, we're going to have the odd blewin. Not content with staying in one spot, he's now spreading his juice all around our drinking water area. Here you have a beast from the deep. This is the alpha male of the species, and he's now parading for the female.